Welcome back to 504 Road Trips. Today we continue our drive through New York on US Highway 11 North in the last mile of St. Lawrence County. We're at New York Mile 247, and for the second video in a row, the rain has stopped and will remain minimal today. We enter Franklin County, which is bordered by two Canadian provinces to the north, Ontario and Quebec. Franklin County comprises the Malone, New York Micropolitan Statistical Area. Much of Franklin County is within Adirondack Park. Franklin County, named in honor of founding father Benjamin Franklin, experienced significant growth with the arrival of the railroad, which fueled the timber industry. For over 12 years, a vast tract of forest north of Saranac Lake was heavily logged, and millions of feet of timber were transported via the railroads to market. This industry thrived into the early 20th century until much of the forest was harvested. Several lumber mills operated for decades, including the Kinsley Lumber Company, Baker Brothers Lumber Company, and a mill owned by the Dock and Coal Company, which was dismantled in 1917 and relocated to Florida. As the timber industry declined, so did the population in the area. However, the railroads also made Franklin County a popular summer destination. By the late 1800s, Franklin County boasted three of the largest resort hotels in the Adirondacks. Eventually, the rise of highways and changes in the railroad industry led to the end of passenger rail service to this remote region by the mid-20th century. According to the 2020 census, Franklin County had a population of 47,555 residents. We're also in the town of Moira. Settlement in the Moira region began around 1803, and the town was officially established in 1828, formed out of the neighboring town of Dickinson. The arrival of the railroad played a significant role in the area's development. The Ogdensburg and Lake Champlain Railroad, originally known as the Northern Railroad, was founded in 1849. It connected Ogdensburg through Moira to Rouse's Point. In 1883, the Northern Adirondack Railroad extended from Moira southward to St. Regis Falls, which was a hub for the lumber industry. By 1885, the railroad was further extended to Santa Clara, and by 1890, it reached as far south as Tupper Lake, further facilitating the region's economic growth and accessibility. We finally reached the road closure, and looking down the road, there's nothing visible that might make the highway impassable. But an alternate route was found on the map, and even though they seemed to be discouraging use of these roads with a barricade and a road closed sign, we took it anyway. It turned out to be a short drive on some narrow roads, but I can see why they wouldn't want a bunch of highway traffic going this way, especially truck traffic. We head back to US 11 on State Route 95, which terminates at US 11. Keep an eye out for the end sign on the right a little ways before the actual intersection. Also notice the Wilbur Austin Memorial clock on the right at the intersection ahead. The only information I could find about the memorial is that the clock dates back to 1923 and a bell found at the base of the clock was cast in 1859. Wilbur Austin, who must have been a prominent citizen to have such a memorial, has virtually no information online other than a public notice from the Franklin Gazette in 1891 looking for claims against his estate. We passed through the village of Brushton, which had a population of 443 as of the 2020 census. US 11 is locally named Washington Street here. Brushton is named for Henry Brush, who owned Brush's Mills on the Little Salmon River. The village covers quite a long stretch of US 11 despite having an area of only 1/4 of a square mile. We conclude today's video at mile 256. Thanks for watching. We've enabled channel memberships, so for as little as $1 a month, you too can help support our channel and get early access to our regular videos, as well as the occasional members-only video. Click the link in the description to join. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, post a comment, subscribe, share and follow us on social media, and join us for our next 504 road trip.